Hey, you guys. I'm just waiting for my new friend Allison to join me. Um, I met her in North Dakota. I went out to give a little talk on oxidative stress. Oh, there she is. Hold on, she's asking me. And oops, there we go. She's new. She's never gone live before, so we're going to be patient. Bear with me one second. But she's a really powerful story, and we're going to share it with you. But in the meantime, I'm just going to warn you that my kids are wandering around here. So hopefully nobody is naked in my background. We did it! Yay!
Hello.
Hi!
Hello.
I was just saying that I have to be careful. My children are all awake, and I didn't mention that I was going live. They do know what that means. So let's just hope that nobody shows up naked back there.
Well, if it
Okay.
makes you feel any better, my husband is redoing our flooring right out there. So you may hear some loud hammering and ripping flooring up.
That's good to know. So anyway,
Yeah.
I just wanted to introduce you guys. This is Allison. Ta-da! For anyone, and so she
Hello.
and I met just like we don't know each other super well.
Mm-mm.
I was in Bismarck, North Dakota, to give a presentation on oxidative stress, and that you were there and you shared your story with me, and I thought it was so powerful that I was hoping that you would share it here. And it's funny, as I did the title, I might actually redo it because I titled this video, Why It Takes Time for Oxidative Stress, like built up oxidative stress to unwind, which I know is a piece of your story, but
Yes.
I don't even think it's the full thing. What is the name of the issue that you have? Was there a
Yeah, I had a torn rotator cuff, and then I
okay.
have disc issues in my C4 and C5.
Okay. And so I want to also just really preface this conversation. This is something that's really important to me. What the little yellow pill can do, protandim nerve 2, it's reducing oxidative stress. And it's proven to reduce oxidative stress by 40% within 30 days. From there, once our stress is lessened, our body takes over and heals. So the little yellow pill is not alleviating your symptoms. It's really not. Your body is moving towards a healing state when the pressure is reduced. So I just want to clarify that first. And it shows up differently in everybody. I have seen people with stories like yours where there's
Mm-hmm.
big impact. And then there's myself. I don't have a big story to tell. Honestly, like I feel a little less stressed. I have a little bit more patience with my children. I sleep a little bit better, but like I don't have some huge story like this, but I know that it's still working and preventing future stuff down the line. So I just want to preface that. So can you share just a little bit? Tell me
Sure.
what you told me that day.
Yep, for sure. I just a little bit of a background. So I've always been
Yep.
into fitness and working out. About 13 years ago, I did have a slight weightlifting injury on my shoulder. So I knew that I did have restrictions with overhead lifting and what I could do, but I knew those restrictions. Um, in August, I knew something was terribly wrong. My pain was going into my ear from my arm and it was going down to my fingertips. I went in for an MRI and they told me I did have a torn rotator cuff. They just did a cortisone shot and then had me go into physical therapy. About 6 weeks into physical therapy, both my PT and I realized I am not improving. There is something else going on. I was still in a lot of pain. Roughly about this point, a former fitness coach of mine, Stephanie, just had
Mm-hmm.
joined LifeVantage and she messaged me. She knew that it was really hard for me not to be working out. And she said, I have some information I want you to look at. And I think it might be something that can help you. She sent me the primetime video along with some other information. I watched it with my husband. And in the meantime, I was referred to a second MRI, and they did find out that I had bulging disc issues in my C4 into my C5, which is why I had so much nerve pain all the way down to my fingertips, which isn't completely relevant with a torn rotator cuff. It was more. And honestly, from sleepless nights to waking up, sitting up straight up in bed with excruciating nerve pain down to my fingers, I could barely sign my name because, of course, it was my right arm. And a lot of times I would sleep on a recliner with heating pads up and down my arm just to get some relief. I needed to do something. Honestly, after seeing the video, and I trust Steph. I mean, I knew she wasn't going to lead me into something that wasn't good for me. And I thought, what do I have to lose at this point? So I tried Nerf 2. My first month went by, and just like a lot of people, I was anxious and wanting something immediately. It does make you a little discouraged where you're thinking, oh my gosh, this isn't working. But I do remember Steph telling me, you have to give it time. You have to give it roughly a decade for every year you are. Well, I am closer to 50 now. And
No, wait,
so I
a
thought,
month, a month, a
okay,
month,
let's keep going.
a month for every decade.
I'm sorry, a month. I'm sorry, a month for every decade. Clear that. So, but of course, when you're in pain, you want 1 month, you want it to be good. And month 3 came, and I noticed my husband actually said to me, when is the last time you used that heating pad? And I was just shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't touched it all week. Then I realized my nerve pain was gone. And Steph and I had talked about it. And I thought, well, maybe it's because I had 2 weeks off of work. I didn't want to jump the conclusion that, oh my gosh, this is really working for me. So slowly, though, it started getting better and better and better. I could still feel that I had that torn rotator cuff. Now, in the meantime, I have to explain, I wasn't allowed to go to any physical therapy. After that second MRI, he said, let's just take a break. And so I wasn't doing anything. By shortly after that, so I'd say about month 4, I didn't even realize I had a torn rotator cuff anymore. I could do everything I could before. I had zero pain. When I say zero, I'm talking zero. I had zero nerve pain. I'm on month 8 and I still have nothing. I went in to my PT for a recheck, and she was blown away at my range of motion. She said, it's like you never had it. So I mean, yeah, it took time. I knew that it was going to take some time, so I just stuck with it. And I'm so glad I did. My husband says that too. He said, honestly, that was probably one of the best things that you have done, because it is night and day different for me. It's like I'm back to my normal self completely. I don't have any shoulder issues at all.
And so, do you know what caused the injury to begin with?
Yep, I had a weight lifting injury about 13 years ago.
Okay.
And I was told way back then, you have to be careful with anything overhead. You know what, though? I did go in a few years back and had just some x-rays taken. And they said, in your clavicle, you have something called osteolysis, which is similar to what's called weightlifter shoulder. So, and then where my shoulder was meeting my bones there, it was already starting to deteriorate with arthritis. Even when I had the MRI, they said, you do have arthritis. And I don't have that achy. The nerve pain was excruciating. That was, to me, the worst part of it was the nerve pain. I had never had that before. But honestly, I don't feel anything anymore, which is crazy. Amazing. I mean, it's amazing. And on top of it, the other things take the injury away. Like you, I feel a lot more patient. I feel way more just relaxed and calm and in the moment. I just feel overall happier. I feel like it's kind of changing my skin and my hair a little bit. Just overall amazing.
Yeah. What I hear you saying, which really struck me, and I just want to reiterate this, is you had an injury and the body wasn't able to heal it until you reduced your oxidative stress. Like, would you say that that's an accurate statement? Yeah. And then 100%. Once that oxidative stress started to come down, which took a little while.
Yep.
That is when the body started to heal. And you hadn't done anything else during this period. Nothing else changed.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. And you had tried
100%.
other things. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The cortisone shot did nothing. It did absolutely nothing. It didn't do one thing for me. And that was kind of a red flag for my therapist and my doctor. So they said something else is going on here. And honestly, a friend of mine is a nurse practitioner. And I told her, because she said, holy cow, your shoulder, you seem like you're doing so good. And I told her what I was taking, and it was something to reduce oxidative stress. And she said, you know what? That's exactly what's going to help you. So I was kind of shocked by that too. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, somebody knows about this. This is two words that I haven't heard,
Right.
oxidative stress. This
No.
person is
Yeah.
understanding that. So
Yeah.
yeah, and like I said, month 8, and I still just take Nerf 2 once a day. It's just routine.
Yep.
Super happy with it. And I mean, I couldn't imagine being where I'm at right now without it, without reducing that
Oh,
oxidative stress, so 3 months was well worth it. It got better and better and
yeah.
better and better. So worth it to wait it out.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing your
Yeah.
story. I hope that your
You're
story
welcome.
encourages somebody else to stick with it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Thanks, Allison. Thanks, you guys. Bye.
Thanks, Joy. Thank you.